Breaking news. So EFCC has just released a list of 58 companies that are currently running illegal Ponzi scheme in Nigeria. So if you have somebody or you yourself, you have invested in any of these 58 companies, you can be sure that your money is gone. But I mean, that is not like the big news. The big news is if this Ponzi scheme are still operating in 2024, then what is really the big problem? So that is what I want to discuss with you in this video, because if you think about the 58 companies that we want to talk about here, I'm going to show you some, probably all of those 58 companies, so that you can review them and see whether you've invested in the past or in the current time in some of these companies. And if EFCC is currently saying that they are illegal companies, they are Ponzi schemes, then you need to be worried. In fact, probably your money is already gone. Let's go on. So in this video, I'm going to show you the full list of the companies that EFCC exposed as illegal companies. If you also stick around, I'm going to tell you why these companies are currently illegal, even when some of them can show you CAC document. So let's go about it. So the first thing I want to show you here is the list of the 58 companies, and I rank some of them because I personally have heard about some of these companies or know people that have invested in these companies one way or the other. Some of them are very popular. So look at the Wales Kingdom Capital. I know these companies. Some of them, I don't know them, but these are companies that they've been deemed to be illegal companies, meaning that they are running illegal operation in the country. I have heard about Farm Ford Limited and Agro Partnership. Look at these. I've heard about Adiva Capital before. I've heard about Osford. I've heard about MBA Trading. I've heard about Eatrich. Those are, very popular companies. I've heard about Farm for Me Agriculture. I mean, some of them are also like agriculture or agro-based, they tell you about very huge returns that you cannot really tie to their operation. Adamakin, this is also very popular, company that promise, people very high returns. And some of them are not delivering. Some of them deliver for some time and falter along the line. These are companies EFCC have told you that they are illegal companies, meaning that they are running illegal operation. So if you have money in them or you still plan to put money in them, you should know that you are at risk of losing your principal and whatever return they have promised you. So you need to really listen to EFCC in this case. If you go to the last one, I'm just trying to show you the list of this company. You might know some of them, you might not know, but maybe the first way to check is to first see if you're trying to invest in any of these. You need to probably step back and think, very deeply before you put your money there. Oval is one of the very popular companies, that was like operating very highly on Facebook and, scam a lot of people. Shinmark is also very popular one that I have heard about. Okay, so that is the list of 58 companies that EFCC has told you not to invest your money in. And if for some strange reasons you have put your money in any of these companies, you might be probably sure that your money is gone. But that's not the big news. The big news is, why are these companies still operating, and how do you know that they're illegal operations? Why did EFCC call them Ponzi schemes? For starters, what are Ponzi schemes? Ponzi schemes, they are just companies or illegal companies that promise high returns without having any business model at all. So you don't know what they're producing, you don't know what they are selling, or what they are selling is not clear. Their operation is not clear. Their business model is not very, very well stated out. So most of the time they use other people's money to pay you, and that is how the cycle continues until there is a break, or there is like a lot of people withdrawing money and there's no money to pay back to people. So those are Ponzi schemes, and any of these companies, you will see some of the features I want to talk about now and see why they are Ponzi schemes in the terms of EFCC. If these companies are promising you high returns, or they are collecting money from the public and they are investing it and they are giving returns, and they are not registered with either the CBN or the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is called the SEC, then be very well sure that they are running illegal operation. Because, I mean, according to the SEC rules, if you are receiving money from the public, if you are trading, with the public money, if you are investing public fund, and you do not have a, legal backing means that you have CBN license, or you like a banking license, or you are duly registered with SEC, then you probably are running an illegal operation. And the best way to really know when a company is running an illegal operation is to first see through this. Do they have investor protection? And how do you protect investors? In Nigeria, there are just only two ways you can protect investors. So there is a corporation called NDIC, which is like Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation. All the money you keep in the bank, the reason why you have confidence that the money is safe is because there is NDIC somewhere that is promising you that when this bank fail, or when the bank, go into bankruptcy, your money is kind of safe to an extent, meaning that it's insured to the extent of the amount of claims this NDIC can give you. That's one part of the reason why you keep your money in the bank and you go to sleep. Another thing is, if you have a stock account or brokerage account where your broker buys shares, buy stock, buy bond, or whatever securities for you, there is also another insurance part, which is called the Investors Protection Fund. That also is a fund that protects these investment companies. So if a company is promising you very high returns, that they are using your money to trade or whatever, and you cannot tie them to NDIC or the Investors Protection Fund, then you have to know that they are operating an illegal operation. Definitely, they will not have a CBA license, or they will not be registered with SEC. So that is one of the very good way to know that the company that is promising you very high returns without having any serious business model that they are operating is a Ponzi scheme. Another thing I want to clarify, or probably put to light here, is that it is not enough for a company to have a Corporate Affairs Commission registration, because that's also one of the very good way that these companies try to, scam people. And anybody can get a CAC document, because all you need to do is to register with CAC and get a registration number, have the CAC documentation. They can splash that on the internet, on their website, to say that we are registered with CAC or whatever. It is not enough. That's documentation. Again, I'm saying it is not enough for them to receive and trade with public fund, with your money. I mean, just know that when you're doing that, you're pushing money to these companies that do not have like SEC or CBN license to trade with your money or to invest your money. Then know that they are running illegal operation. I'm just trying to stretch it, that the fact that they have CAC documentations and all of that, you can type their registration number online, it is not enough. Another thing you need to be aware of is that having a registered office or location also is not enough. Overnight, any company can pack up and go away. So telling you to come to their office, and it's looking very glamorous and beautiful, is not enough to convince you that the company that you're about to push a lot of millions of naira of your savings to is a genuine company. So that's lesson one, which is very, very important for you to know, that when do you say that a company is running an illegal operation, especially when they are collecting money from you, telling you that they're investing it, and they're promising you returns. If the company is not having a CBN license or a SEC registration, they cannot perform a capital market operation. And if they are doing that, and you know that they don't have all those registration, then you know that you're at risk. The money can be lost. And that is why EFCC is crying out that, you know what, these companies, they are illegal companies. Do not put your money in there. So that is lesson one. Let us move to lesson two, which is very important, very interesting as well. So what are the key features of Ponzi schemes? Like I've said before, when do you say that a company is a Ponzi, scheme? If it's a Ponzi scheme, they promise you very high returns without having any business model or business operation to support that high return that they are promising you. So the first feature that you need to know is unrealistic returns. On the surface of it, it's very easy to know. If you say, oh, bring 100K, bring 1 million, by next month it's going to turn to 2 million. Something should tell you immediately that you are about to put your money in an extremely high risk, illegal business. And whatever happens to your money, you know that you are going in knowing fully well that you are playing a lot of, you are doing a lot of big gambling with your savings. The second feature that I have seen with some of these companies that run Ponzi scheme is that they use a lot of social media and influencers to market their companies. So, there are a lot of fake testimonials online. There are a lot of fake success stories. They do this one on purpose. You will never see them go to TV or radio most of the times to advertise their company because they don't have any operation. They usually rely on social media and influencers who tell you very fake stories or testimonials so that they can recruit you into the illegal operation. The third one is that they rely on recruitment. There is a pyramid scheme, and this is also very obvious. Any business or investments that tell you that, oh, bring 2 people, bring 3 people before you can make more money, already you should know that you are going into a Ponzi scheme. It's fine if you know that it's a Ponzi scheme, but if you do not know that it's a Ponzi scheme, this is a trigger to tell you that you are currently putting your money in a Ponzi scheme and you can lose it anytime. The fourth one is they collapse when new investors stop joining. And it's obvious there is no business that is going on anywhere. The only way you're getting your returns is because other people are joining and they're using their money to pay you. And when other people join, the money is just moving around. That's basically what is happening in a Ponzi operation. So the moment you know that, oh, this investment does not give me returns when no new people do not join, already you know that you're into a Ponzi scheme. Obviously, the fifth one is that there is no clear business model. If you are asking too many questions, you will find out that you will be shut down. In fact, they're going to push you out because they know that you are not one of the clients that they are actually looking for. They are not looking for a client that asks too many questions. Why? Because the business or the company cannot explain how they generate profits. They cannot explain how they are about to pay you 100% returns that stock or equity investment do not give, that private equity investment do not give, that even some of the hedge funds hardly give those kind of returns. So those investment or investment model that we know that extremely high risk, if they cannot give the returns that these new companies are promising, then something should immediately tell you that you are currently into a Ponzi scheme. Okay, let's move on to the sixth one. No regulatory approvals. I have mentioned that before. They do not have license with CBN and SEC, and so they cannot operate a capital market operation. And meaning that if they do without all of this license, there is no NDIC that is securing your money, and there is no investment protection fund that is guaranteeing your investment as well. So again, no regulatory approvals means that your money is at big risk. The seventh one I also put on the table, which I'm trying to grouping all of these companies together, you will find out that there is the founders, they are fake or they are anonymous. You don't know them. You may know some, but the fact is they do not have track record. If somebody is promising you an investment that gives 100% return per annum, the person must be a wizard. That is the kind of returns people that are extremely intelligent, on the stock exchange give. And those are the extremely intelligent people. And they don't even give that. So if somebody random person on the street is telling you about 100% returns in per annum, 50% return in 1 month, you have to think twice that what is the track record of this person? Which business school does this person go to? How many companies have this person run successfully? Where did this person start from? I mean, by the time you break down into the biography of the founders or the people running the company, you'll find out that already you can quickly notice that they are running an illegal operation. Another thing is difficulty in withdrawing your fund. Normally, every investment should give you terms and conditions without any hassle, in trying to get your money out. But the moment there is a problem all the time in you trying to get your money out, or there is delay and they're telling you, oh, you know what, you have to hold on. What they're just trying to say is that there are no new joiners that are bringing in money so that they can give you. And at that point, you should be sensing that your money is about to be trapped. So that is also a very great feature of these illegal companies that are running a Ponzi scheme, which EFCC has given you a list of 58 of them. The ninth one is about the pressure to invest quickly. Every scam is always coming with pressure. Scammers create urgency. So Ponzi schemes is about come quickly, the slots is not, is about to be finished, blah, blah, blah. They just make sure that you don't have enough time to think. And that is the game. So any scheme that is putting pressure on you, there is high likelihood that is Ponzi scheme. And if you think about any of these 58 companies that EFCC has rolled out, you can be sure that there is a level of urgency that comes with this investment. And the last one, which is like a bonus point, is the fact that they blame government, they blame hackers. Most times when they cannot pay you back, or when there is a problem with the money, when the investment is not, yielding the return they promise, they always blame hackers, they blame government, the government has shut us down, the government doesn't like us, blah, blah, blah. All these is just, tell signs that you have put your money in a Ponzi scheme and the money is about to go, or the money is even, gone. So that's lesson 2. Let me move to the last lesson, which is how do you protect your money? Because the breaking news about these companies exist, they are operating about 58 of them. That means there is a lot of them. And the onus is on you to protect your money. And the question that you should be asking yourself is, how do I do that? So I gave about, 5 or 6 technically of things you should do to protect your money from these illegal operations. And the first one, which is like very clear thing you need to do, is check CBN and SEC registration. And again, I told you, CAC documentation is not enough. Showing you founders, how many shares they have, all of that, anybody can show that kind of document. The moment they are not having any CBN license, or they do not have SEC registration to be able to operate capital market operation, then you should know that the company is not licensed to do what they are doing, to invest the money and give you returns. So do not invest. That's just simple as that. That's how to protect your money. Another point, which is strategy, is that if it sounds good to be true, it is. So even if it's, the smallest amount of money that you want to throw into a Ponzi scheme, the question is, if it is too good to be true, then it is probably true. So there is no investment anywhere in the world that doubles your money overnight. So if anybody is telling you bring 100K by the next 24 hours is going to turn to, 200K, you should know that that is not true. And it is a scam. It is a Ponzi. And if you go into that and your money gets, lost in that investment, in quotes, then it is at your risk. The third point I want to make here is that be careful with referral-based investment. In fact, any investment that relies on your recruitment to make money, then you need to run away from that. That is a Ponzi scheme. In fact, that is a very important feature of a Ponzi scheme. So if you have any referral business model, or anybody telling you that you need to bring one person, two person, three person for you to, go up in the hierarchy. It is a Ponzi. MMM taught us a lot of good lessons about how a pyramid, model work. And any business that still operates that referral-based model is likely to be a Ponzi scheme. It's not, you cannot say this too many times. You need to research before investing. Put your money in the bank. Let it be in a savings account. If you can wait, let it be in a fixed deposit. You should not be in a hurry to invest the money. So that is where we say research, research, research. If you do not have patience to research before throwing your savings into anything, probably you are not really worth to have that savings in the first place. So simple Google search, check reviews online, will quickly give you a trigger that you are about to invest in a Ponzi. And that way, you can step back and make a different decision about how to invest your money. The last one is like every business must have a business model. And this is like the foundation of business. And this is like the basic thing they teach you in a business school, that what is the business model? The business model is think logically. How does this business make money? How do they generate profit? It has to be simple. You need to know what they are selling. What service are they rendering? How does that translate to revenue? What is the cost they are incurring to generate that revenue? What are the other operational costs? How does everything lead to profit? And how does it translate to the fact that they can still give you 100% returns in a year when even the equity market cannot give that? Equity market that is so risky cannot give that. Why will any company, most of them are also startups, why should they be able to promise you that level of returns? If you think deeply, most of the time, these companies do not have a very clear business model. So my last point is listen to EFCC. Definitely you need to listen. If you go back, I'm going to show you again. Okay, look at them again. And you can spend a few time trying to check them out, pause and, look at them deeply. If you find out that anybody, friends, family has invested in any of these companies, there's high likelihood that they've invested in a Ponzi scheme. If there is a possibility to get their money out immediately, maybe it's time to quickly do that. In fact, the moment the news broke, it's likely there is high likelihood that the money is gone. Anyway, those are the 58 companies. The next slide show some other more. I have highlighted some of them that I've heard about before, as Ponzi. So a lot of people lost money in some of these, which is a very sad story, but that is not the big news. The big news is if you have lost 100,000 before in the past, how do you want to prevent yourself from losing more? And that is the biggest point that I want to make in this video. These are the companies that EFCC has said that they are operating illegal operation in Nigeria. So I would think it's good to share this video to your loved ones, to your friends, people that probably would have put money in any of these companies. And if you have as well, you need to get out of it. If it's impossible, you need to think about how do I make a different decision in future. So that's what I want to talk about in this video today. I will see you again in my next video. Take care. Bye.